A few weeks ago I done a video, Cajun chicken melt, and it was a recipe that I hadn't actually made for years, but it was a very old recipe that we used to make many times in the restaurant for staff supper. But I was thinking, what can I do something a little bit similar but different at the same time? So I thought a curry chicken melt with a pesto mayonnaise. It's delicious. We made it last week here at home, and the twins and Imelda and myself, we really enjoyed it. So I really wanted to share this recipe with you. Very simple, actually really simple. So we'll start off by just talking about the chicken, and we're using corn-fed chicken here. Okay, so this is a corn-fed, this is fed in maize. It's a really good, Simply Better produce this, so they do and sell this, and it's you can get it with skin on, you can get it with like a supreme with the bone on. This is just the skinless fillet. This is the curry powder, and this is produced from a company called Oko. They're excellent. All their spices are organic. They do the most wonderful harissa, seasoned salts. They also do some really nice cinnamon, and I really like this, and their turmeric is excellent. One thing about spices is, particularly about this, they're small, they're not too big, because spices lose a lot of their freshness. So they're based in Athlone, one of the producers I got to meet, and I really like these two gentlemen. They are fantastic. Their consistency is excellent, and you know, blending and mixing spices, there's real art in that and real technique in that, and these are excellent. So this is not a hot spicy curry powder. If you've made my korma, which by the way I think is the most watched video that I've ever done, so thank you for that, the chicken korma with chickpeas and sweet potato, this is what I used here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of oil. You can use some rapeseed oil or a little bit of olive oil I'm using. We're going to put some salt, a nice good pinch of salt, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put some of this curry powder. So I'm literally just going to get a spoon, use a big or a small spoon, and I'm going to sprinkle this all over. So what you want is that it's sticking to the actual chicken breast. So the chicken breast is raw, remember that. Now, what we want to do is to keep this really moist, and this is the tip. Same tip if you're doing the Cajun chicken melt. You pour the water, not over the chicken, around the chicken. Couple of spoonfuls, that's it, just cold water. That goes into the oven, 180, and you bake that. It'll take about 20 minutes. So I already have one already done, which I actually just prepared earlier on, so it's gone completely cold, and you can see how moist and succulent it is. So I'll move this just out of the way. So it's cooked. So how do you test when it's cooked? Well, you usually know by kind of looking at it, you know, and after 20 minutes it definitely should be done. I baked 2 of them because I have one actually of the melts in the oven. But this part here, so you touch this, and when that's firm to the touch, it's cooked. And this can be done 2 or 3 days ahead. Now, if you've leftover roast chicken, you can sprinkle some of the spices and just literally flash it under the grill if you want to. So before I slice this, we're going to do a nice little bit of some pesto mayonnaise. So this is just some full fat mayonnaise. I'm using this pesto here. So this is a fresh Italian pesto. I'll just open it out there. I have a little tub of it there. So that's it there, really good. You have your basil, you have your pine nuts, you have your extra virgin olive oil, your garlic, and it's a really good product. Aha! This is a great thing to have in your kitchen. It's not my alarm, I haven't gone to sleep, but it just reminds you of what you have in the oven. So I already have one of the melts in the oven. I'll just have a little look now, because I could have forgot about it and burnt it. Not that you'd ever see that. So a couple of little spoonfuls of this goes into the mayonnaise. And then you mix this all together. So this is our pesto mayonnaise. Really nice with some smoked salmon or prawns in a wrap in a sandwich. It really is gorgeous. Maybe a little bit more. So it's a really nice product, this pesto. So mix that all together. Gorgeous. So you can have this all done ahead. Your chicken that will keep for 2 or 3 days in your fridge, cooked like that, and then just slice it up. Your pesto mayonnaise easily for a week. So I'm just going to take out, have a little look at the melt, because I don't want to take it out yet. That looks good. I'm going to switch the oven off. Okay, and that will continue just to keep nice and warm. So I wanted to show you kind of 2 different types of pita bread and then some ciabatta. But really important, this is parchment paper. So this is no non-stick silicone paper. So it's really simple. Just get a spoon, and just with the back of the spoon kind of smear this all over. Okay, and the same for this here. So the pita bread. Which one do I prefer? I think the ciabatta is lovely, but the pesto one is great. And this is a great one for children. It really is. Now, I'm going to get some tomatoes and I'm going to slice them. So these lovely cherry tomatoes, I'm going to just get them. I'm going to slice them nice and thinly. Okay, so just watch your fingers when you're doing this. And these cherry tomatoes can be grown in Ireland, which is fantastic. So we've come a long way. We really have. And I think the Irish palate, you know, they like kind of a little bit of spice. You know, they like to experiment with different flavours. And I think this is so tasty. This really is. So I'll just arrange some of the tomatoes here, just over the little bit of pesto mayonnaise. They're optional. You can use roasted peppers. You don't have to use tomatoes. But I think it's really nice to include them in this. I like tomatoes, I really do. And a lovely little tip for you, you might have seen in some of my other videos, is with the cherry tomatoes, a little bit of grated lemon zest, some balsamic vinegar, and also you could put in some extra virgin olive oil and basil. It's so delicious. Okay, so just last one there. Now, so we have our pita bread, we have our ciabatta, we have the mayonnaise, then we have the tomatoes. Now what we're going to do, I'm just going to wipe my board, and then what we're going to do is we're going to slice our chicken. So I want to show you how succulent. So that's really an important tip, is the water. Not over the chicken, around the chicken. So see the way I'm slicing this nice and thin? It's so delicious. I just think this is so tasty. And serve with a salad. It's just really, really good. Okay, we'll do our ciabatta one first. We're just going to get the chicken. And we're just going to just kind of overlap it a little bit. Put another piece there. And then for our pita bread. So you can use, you know, you can use baguette, you can use whatever you want. I think the ciabatta is an enriched Italian bread with olive oil. I think it's hard to beat. It's a really, really nice bread to use for this. So that's that done. Next thing now, what we're going to do is we're going to put our cheese. We're going to talk about our cheese. So some grated cheese. So this is our Drina cheddar cheese here. So this is just a lovely story behind these. These are a group of farmers. It's based in Bandon Co-op, and they're from the Drina Peninsula, so they are. So this was a year to do this project, to make and taste the cheese and to mature it and grade it. It was fascinating for me, and I got to meet the farmers and the families who do this. So this is the block here. So I just got my son Connor to grate this. So I think he's done a really good job. So well done to him. And you can buy it pre-grated or you can buy the slices. It doesn't really matter, whichever you prefer. Okay, so I'm going to just build this on top. You can use mozzarella. I think cheddar cheese is nice. And by the way, this is an everyday cooking cheddar. I should say that. And what that means, it's not too strong. It's a really, really nice cheddar cheese. And there's a lovely story behind it. So it was the brainwave of Kevin Sheridan. What that man doesn't know about cheese is not worth knowing. He's a genius. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of pesto. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get some pesto in here, and I'm going to loosen it up with a little bit of oil. And you're going to see why I do this. Just to loosen it up, just a tiny little bit of oil. And then we're going to drizzle this over. Before I do that, a pinch of salt. So I already seasoned the chicken salt, so remember that. So just be careful. I like me salt. So a little drizzle of this. So you can have these all done ahead. So this is our pesto. So that goes on top of the cheese. And I have two little dressings here. One of them, okay, this is part of the Simply Better collection, and it's made by a company called Full On Foods. And it's a really nice, it's a sweet chili sauce. So I'll do one with this. Give it a little shake. Put your kind of thumb there. And then the other one, we can do it with this. This is slightly spicy and it's from Thai Gold. You've heard me mentioning them. They're based from Wexford. They're excellent. So we're just a drizzle of this. It's a sriracha sauce. So this is definitely spicy. So it is. Okay, this needs to go into the oven. I baked mine at 180 and it took about 15-20 minutes. Remember, your chicken is cooked, you're really just reheating the bread. So I'll pop this in and I'll take the other one out and then we just serve it up. It's as easy as that. Now have a little look at this. I know. Mel is licking her lips. She is. So good, so delicious. For me, look at the crustiness of that bread. I think the ciabatta is good. And I love the way the cheese is melted. You can see the sweet chili sauce. You can see the tomatoes just underneath there. But the chicken, that corn fed, it's fed on maize, which gives the most beautiful flavour. So you can serve up whichever. I think I'll just serve up the ciabatta. A little bit of salad. So this is some wild rocket, and you know, a little bit of mustard, and this is salad, and this is just from our garden here. We're just going to mix this. Actually, do you know what I'll do? I'll mix it just in the little container. So some extra virgin olive oil. You can put it some toasted nuts. This even with some chips or potato wedges. Gorgeous. A little bit of balsamic vinegar. So that's a 3-year-old balsamic vinegar, and it's from Modena, and that's the home of the traditional balsamic, which is really, really unique. And this is the logo here, the PGI, Protected Geographical Indication. So the Italians are really, really clever people at protecting what they have. Really, really good. You can learn a lot from them. For me, as a chef, I learned a huge amount going over there to see the way they produce the parmesan. You know, even there, the balsamic, I met that producer. It's just delicious. Okay, that's our salad. Now just using a fish slice. And just be careful lifting it off. And if you just come here, I'll just show you that, you know, with the parchment paper, nothing will stick to it. Not grease proof. We never use grease proof. And it's kind of sliding off. But look at that. Oh, that is just so, so delicious. So just get your fish slice. Just arrange this, and you can see how moist that is. Like, who wouldn't enjoy that? Now that is hot coming out of the oven. This is the pita one here, Imelda. So you can see the lovely tomatoes and all that, and you have your lovely chicken melted down. It's a really, really lovely one. It's not too spicy. It's full of flavour, and I think this is a great kind of a lunchtime, would you say a snack, but a lunchtime meal. You could have it for supper if you wanted to, and that's my curried chicken melt. Really good cheddar cheese, beautiful curry powder, so it's not too spicy, and then this lovely pesto in the mayonnaise gives such beautiful flavour. I'm a fan of pesto because I love basil, so I do. So I think that there with some chips, and you can have that for your dinner. So I hope you try this recipe. I know a lot of you tried the recipe for the Cajun chicken, which was a different spice. We put sweet chili sauce into the mayonnaise. This is the little twist in this, and I think it's equally as nice. It's just delicious, and I think we're going to have this for our lunch. So happy cooking, everyone. Thanks for all the comments, the feedback, the engagement. I'm really enjoying doing the videos, and I know you're really hopefully enjoying the good food at home. So keep cooking, stay safe, look after yourselves. Thanks a million.